race splits earlier this week, and he was getting low 20s a lot, it seemed like. And it looks like we should be getting off here. Goofy's still kind of fooling around on his stream, but he may just be a little bit delayed.
So Marikh's off on his way, and Goofy is...
Goofy's being goofy. Uh-oh. I hope that's not good. It looks like his timer was already started by the time he started 1-1, so...
So we'll try to see if we can get these synced up here shortly.
Yeah.
So Marikh did not pick up any power-ups in 1-1, so let's see if he picks up anything here. He's going to pick up this mushroom.
You don't see a lot of times... It seems like runners either pick up the mushroom in 1-1, or they'll pick it up in 1-2. But yeah, as you're about to say, he's taking the top route here at 1-2.
Taking the safe top route. So I would figure, I don't know if he does small fire Mario or not. Goofy picking up the early fire.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is earlier that you either see runners pick up the mushroom in 1-2 or 1-1 and then pick up fire 1-2, or just wait till 1-3 and 1-4. We're about to find out pretty quickly if Marikh's going to be going for small fire, and I would guess he is.
Maybe so.
Unless he just doesn't like getting the fire there.
Goofy got a 6 on the timer on 1-2,
Oh,
so
no.
that's gonna cost him a little bit of time because in this game, if the last digit of your timer is a 1-3 or a 6 when you touch the flagpole, you'll get that many fireworks. So Goofy's gonna lose a little bit of time there. That's an easy mistake to make, especially when you're in a race situation. You're not thinking about it as much as you normally would.
Right.
So it does look like Marikh's going for the small fire.
We'll see if he gets it here.
Far. Yep, he's going for it. And
he got
it.
He got the forward Bowser, so he had to wait a little bit longer to set up the glitch, but he did set it up successfully. So we will see him grab 2 power-ups in 2-1 and achieve small fire Mario status.
So here, he should pick up the mushroom, which will turn him to small Mario, and then he should pick up the fire flower here, and he will get that. So he has firepower, but has this small hitbox and figure of small Mario. So that has some advantages overall.
Yeah, that'll really come into play in this next level for Marikh. In the water levels especially, having a smaller hitbox but still having firepower it's pretty awesome. It makes the level quite a bit easier in my opinion.
Yeah, trying to navigate the water levels with a big hitbox can be a huge pain sometimes.
Right, there's some of those bottlenecks in the water levels that are just... They can fill up with enemies really easily, and it's something you don't like to see.
So Marikh into 2-2. Let's see how it goes through. And Goofy is not far behind. Goofy's gonna shoot everything out of his way. That's my assumption. I believe that's.
I guess so. He's a pretty experienced underwater sniper, so we should see some pretty good sniping from him.
Ooh, that's a rough pattern he got there.
Yeah.
He did what I believe was the wise thing and just backed off there.
Yeah.
Trying to challenge that.
Yeah, anytime I've played this game before in these water levels, my go-to is, if I don't feel good about shooting a cheap in the water, just try to dodge it. So I'd much rather keep Fire Flower through there.
Yeah. Marikh got a perfect 2-2, it looked like. Or at least he got a 316 into the pipe anyway. And Goofy was a little bit slower from where he had to back off on that bad cheap pattern that he got. This level can sometimes be easy if you get good fish patterns, and it could be a kind of a nerve-wracking level to have to go through if you get some of the bad cheap patterns, if they spawn in just the right position and block your way.
Right. One interesting thing is if you're small fire Mario, you can actually shoot the cheeps from inside Mario's head hitbox, which is always kind of funny to see.
Yeah, I don't think we saw that there, but of course we
Yeah.
also do have another opportunity in 7-3 to possibly see that. Oh, and Marikh jumped a little high and ended up on the platform. Like
Ended up saving it though.
Yeah. Goofy. Nice job on Bowser. So we are on to World 3.
Yeah, Goofy saving a little bit more time in the castle on that level, and Marikh taking an interesting little route right there. I don't think that was intentional, but he made a pretty good recovery. World 3, I've always kind of said that, you know, you'll hear from runners that World 5 and World 7 are probably the most difficult, especially if you're coming from any percent and you're comfortable with World 8, as we see 6 fireworks for Marikh there. But I found that some of World 3 actually has some deceptively difficult parts.
Yeah, 3-1 can be a little tricky, especially with the stairs at the end if you're trying to do it quickly. And 3-4 is can be pretty tricky too. If you're trying to take aggressive strats toward it, you play it pretty safe. It's typically not too bad. Looks like no problem for either player on 3-2.
Yeah, nice job there from both of them. 3-3, we got another treetop level. Goofy's probably going to jump through one of these platforms coming up, or I guess, did we already pass that? I think we did. I've seen him do it before, though. As Big Mario, you can actually jump through one of those floating platforms, which is... It kind of really throws you off at first if you're not expecting it. We didn't see that there. See where Goofy is just making up just a little bit of time, little by little. And I don't know, since his timer started, I think he is one of the players that follows the spreadsheet that tells you the Podoboo patterns and the castles and stuff. Since he started actually 15 seconds-ish late, I don't know if he can actually follow that, so he might be taking those pretty closely.
Yeah, I don't know if he had really planned on using the spreadsheet for these tournament races. I know he's been using it in general, but I'm not 100% for sure if he's actually planned on trying to use that in his tournament races or not.
Right.
But looks like both players cruising through 4-1 here. 4-1's typically not really much of an issue.
Right. So Marikh taking a little bit of a stumble there at the end, but only probably losing about a frame rule. Maybe 2. All right, well, what do we got for top route, bottom route predictions on this level?
I'm Marikh will go bottom route.
I think both Goofy are going to go bottom route. Oh, Marikh actually taking an interesting way to get to the top route, but he makes it up there. And I think that actually made the difference there, and Goofy actually did just take a little bit of a lead.
So it does appear that Goofy's in the lead at this point. With the issues with the timer starting and all that at the beginning, I'm not sure how all that's going to play out just yet.
Yeah, I guess our tournament timing does go on live split time first this time around. Is that correct?
I think that's probably the case in this situation. It's a little bit of a unique situation from the way it appeared, anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there are delays within the streams that we have to sync up and stuff too. So we'll have to figure that out, I suppose. But so into 4-4. This was one of the first maze levels that we have. There's a specific path that you have to take through the level to get to Bowser. And it looks like both players making it through so far without any issues. Goofy slowing down for Bowser. And looks like Marikh got pretty much about the same Bowser pattern there.
Yeah, pretty similar there. I'd say World 4's Bowser is one of the first really challenging ones. It's different than the other three. You don't have that floating platform above Bowser and stuff. Both players dealing with it really nicely.
It's on to World 5, where the difficulty seems to amp up a little bit for most players. 5-1, not usually too bad, but 5-2 and 5-3 can definitely give you some issues depending on some of the patterns that you get.
Yeah, both players with ending with a 7 on the timer, a perfect level from both of them.
So let's see if Goofy managed to duck under the bullet bill, and
yeah, that was a good duck.
That was
Marikh actually got hit by it, so
now he's going to have to power back up again, and he had the bro is nice and jumped over him.
Yeah, luckily this level does have some pretty easy power-ups to grab. So if you're going to get hit, maybe this is one of the better ones to get hit in. And you did see, if you're not familiar with Small Fire Mario glitch, you do actually have a hit, which will take you back to regular-looking Big Mario. But then it's kind of deceptive because you don't have a hit after that, even though you're Big Mario.
Right. And let's see how Goofy deals with the second half of 5-3. He's getting some, not the best build patterns, but not the worst either.
Yeah. Still doing a pretty darn good job of making it through them.
And Marikh looks like he's making it through pretty well. This is also one of those levels of where having a small hitbox definitely helps too, because some of the builds will show up like right in your way for Big Mario. That's one of the levels that is definitely a little easier with.
See, Goofy going for the Royale good bars strat. Of course, gets good bars through the level, and dealing with the rest of the fire in the level pretty good. Pretty good Bowser kill.
Oh no, and unfortunately, Marikh, he took a hit to one of the fire bars and then missed the elevator jump.
Oh man!
So he's gonna have to start 5-4 back over. And look, he is
not electing to take a power up. Yeah.
Right. Oh, he got the close fire bar there too. He's just trying to. Oh no! That is unfortunate. 5-4 is one of the can really kind of screw everything up if things start to go wrong with that level.
He had a good mushroom grab that time around. Maybe electing to.
He's gonna
have an extra hit to give this time.
Yeah, he decided to safe strat the elevator jump this time.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, me either.
And while we got Goofy in 6-2, we'll see if he makes it through this one. This is a level it's awesome when you see it done correctly, and I think Goofy will do a good job of that. You do have to slow down a little bit at one point or another to avoid getting 3 fireworks. And
nice job by Goofy.
Yeah, great job. It looks like he may have just done that on the stairs there. I didn't notice another slowdown.
Yeah, that looked like he slowed down there. So Marikh not picking up the flower in 6-1. We'll see if he tries to pick it up in 6-2.
I could see him trying to pick it up in 6-2. It's a little bit easier to get in 6-2 without the Lakitu throwing spinies down at you. A little less hectic.
Nice job on 6-3 by Goofy. And he is, yep, he's going to pick up the flower here. So he can hopefully shoot his way through the remainder of the level. Goofy slowing down there at the beginning of 6-4 to get a good firebar pattern, which should make the rest of this level much easier.
Nice job by Goofy.
Yep.
Man, looks like Marikh, even though he had fire, was elected to take the rest of 6-2 pretty safely. Just avoid losing the fire for the later levels that he might need it.
Marikh having a little trouble on the platform 3. I didn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think maybe he missed one of the jumps, or maybe a jump input got eaten or something, and he just fell out of sync with him and wanted to just wait for a better opening to get through there.
Goofy heading into 7-2, which is basically the same as 2-2, except that there's more cheeps and more bloopers, and it's usually just a little more difficult. But the rest of the level is designed the same.
Right.
So let's hope for the best on Goofy on making it through without any issues here. And unfortunately, Marikh takes a hit on the fire bar at the end of the lava pit on 6-4.
That's a pretty tight fire bar to make, as big or small Mario, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's an easy mistake to make, especially in a race situation like this, where you're likely to be much more nervous, and it's an easy mistake to make.
So 3:15 in the pipe for Goofy, only about 1 second slower than optimal, 1 in-game second.
Looks like Marikh's trying to regain his power-ups here on 7-1. And nice job on the hammer bro kill there. Yeah,
that can be a tricky little section right there, but he does make it through. Is he going to go for this one? And he is.
Yep. And he
got to break the other brick.
Yeah. And he got a good pattern on the bros for the second set, too, so he didn't have to worry about those so much.
Yeah. And good awareness to not get 3 fireworks there as well. Looks like we're going to see a perfect 240 from Goofy on 7-3.
So as we go into Marikh's going into 7-2, best of luck to him on 7-2. Did he do a duck swim?
I just looked away right when
I think he did, because he's like pretty far out of the water when he swims.
Yeah, and he's not shooting anything. So would you like to explain what the duck swim is for those who might not be familiar?
So the duck swim is, if you're Big Mario or Fire Mario, if you when you touch the ground, if you're holding down and you start swimming while you hold down, you will still have what looks like, pretty much the state that that Marikh's in at the moment, but you will actually have the hitbox of small Mario. So it will actually look like you can swim through some of the fish if your head touches them while you're ducking. You'll actually swim through them because the hitbox isn't active there.
Right, so pretty much Mario's head hitbox is completely missing. But you can't shoot fire, which is the downside of it.
Yeah, that is the downside to that, is if you give up one thing for another. It's either you lose firepower and have a small hitbox, or you have a big hitbox and you have the fire as well. Goofy into World 8. Looks like he's cruising through pretty well on 8-1. Looks like he's going to get a 200.
Perfect 200 for Goofy.
And on the 7-4 for Marikh, and I forgot to mention that that's our second of the maze castles in this game. Like 4-4, you have to take a specific path through the level to make it to the end. Otherwise, it keeps looping.
Right, like similar to 4-4, and then 8-4 will be our last puzzle, which is not really a puzzle if you've played it before. You just got to go down the right pipes.
And Goofy making it through 8-2 with no issues, and Marikh making it through 7-4 without issues as well. So on to 8-3 for Goofy, which the level is much easier when you have fire, because you can just shoot the hammer bros out of the way. Without that, this level becomes much more difficult.
Yeah, you shouldn't really... If you've got fire coming through here, you're pretty much going to make it out if you know what you're doing and how to shoot the hammer bros pretty close up, usually. And good 8-3, and we're going into the last level for Goofy. Meanwhile, Marikh making his way through 8-1 on a pretty good pace, it looks like. And just loses his fire right there at the end of 8-1.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He will have the opportunity to pick up a mushroom in 8-2, which would help a little bit. That'll give him an extra hit if he needs it. Generally, that's kind of a safety strat to have for 8-3. It's hard to know what the hammer bro patterns are going to be. So.
Right. Goofy making the 2-frame wall jump into the last water section of the game. We'll see how good his swim is here. He did do the duck swim like we were talking about earlier.
Duck swim under the fire bar. And things are looking pretty good for Goofy at the moment. And he's just got to make it through this last section here.
He's pretty much home free.
And
No damage from Bowser and a 1933 on his timer. And a 1938 SRL time.
Congrats to Goofy on the win. So we will see if we can get Goofy in here for an interview.
And meanwhile, Marikh making it through 8-3 any% style. I didn't see if he grabbed a mushroom in 8-2 and lost it, or...
Yeah, he did. He did
Okay.
grab a mushroom, and he lost it to the Koopa on the stairs at the end of the level, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a tough place to keep it. But makes it through 8-3 really well. About as good as you'd like to see. And we'll get at least 2 attempts at 8-4 here from him. But I think he can make it through in 1 pretty easily.
We'll see if he goes for the jump here.
Looks like a setup.
And he got it. Nice job.
Nailed it. Great job. All right, no duck swim. We'll see the any % swim. And very good swim.
And oh, he got a forward Bowser.
Hey, how lucky, man.
GG to Marikh. GG to both players.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really great race. I mean, within really, you take like one of those deaths out of there for Marikh in 5-4, and this is a much closer race. And really, I mean, even still, a pretty close race between 2 great runners. Really awesome to be able to experience and call this one today. I don't see any sign of them in for an interview yet, but we're talking to them in SRL, and hopefully we can get them in here for you.
Let's see. There's Marikh.
I think we can just... It looks like his microphone's muted right now, but we'll drag him up here when it's ready. And Goofy has just jumped in here.
All right.
Go ahead and I'll just drag both of them up and we'll wait for Marikh.
Sounds good.
Goofy, welcome.
Esmo, Rupert, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. How about you?
I goofed up, guys. You know, I got to live up to my trademark name. I goofed up bad at the beginning there.
Yeah.
What exactly happened there?
I did not see that the race had started. So the race begins or whatever. I assumed I had maybe 5 more minutes, so I'm just screwing around, you know, jumping around, as you guys can see.
Yeah, it was kind of like, let's hope Goofy's stream is just a little bit delayed here. And then I saw your timer start running, and I was like, oh my gosh. He has no idea.
I was freaking out, man. I looked over there, it said race spot go. I'm like 20 seconds behind. Thankfully, I don't think I had too many major slip-ups in that run.
No, that was pretty good. I mean,
that was a very solid.
Thanks,
you might want to
guys.
actually retime that just to see what it was. Take 15 or 20 seconds off of that. That might have easily been a sub 1920 or a sub 1930.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Meanwhile, we got the unfortunate second place of this match. Marikh, I think you're in here now. How's it going, dude?
Well, I just saw Goofy's time, and I think even with the bad mistakes in 5-4, I would have no chance, so huge congrats to him.
Yeah, still a great race that I know everybody enjoyed watching.
Yeah, of course, it's always not the greatest feeling to lose a match, but again, Goofy played really well, and at least I got a 3-14 and 8-4, which was pretty crazy.
Right, yeah, that was really good.
That's amazing, Marikh.
I just thought I stopped short on the turnaround, but fortunately it was probably almost... I guess it was a perfect pixel. So I just got lucky, but At least some of the things went really well for me in the race, but 5-4 was kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, 5-4 is one of those levels that's just it can either go really well, or if something goes wrong, the mistakes can start to pile up really easily, and it was unfortunate to see it. But I did think that you handled the rest of the race really well. And I think
I'm pretty happy with the run, except the stupid mistakes in 5-4. I think everything else was pretty decent, or actually pretty good, I would say. And so,
GG's, Marikh.
Yeah, thanks.
You need to watch the VOD back so you can see my massive blunders at the beginning of our race. You'll get a laugh.
Yeah, I already heard what you said about it. I just was wondering, like at some point I was looking at the restream and saw that I'm ahead, and I didn't really know how that is possible because I was going for small fire. So I should already be behind.
If you watch enough of my streams, you'll know how goofy I actually can be. So
okay,
that's part of his name.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of both of you guys, Goofy, it looks like you're moving on to face the last year's champion, the number 12 seed London B. Any thoughts about that one?
The nerves are already kicking in.
Yeah.
He's a solid runner, extremely consistent. I'm actually pretty honored to go up against him and really excited, actually. Blended in with some nerves, but that's going to be a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And Marikh, we've got you going up against the winner of the Tecate versus Dremis match. I think that could also be a good one, too. I mean, we'll see what turns out between Tecate and Dremis, but...
Well, yeah, I guess I expect that it will be pretty similar to this one, where to pull off a PB probably to win the race, but I think Tecate is really good PB. I think also he PB'd recently. I mean, it seems like everyone PB'd recently in Warpless because of this tournament.
Yeah,
that's how it usually goes. That's kind of how it was last year too. Is a lot of people posted new PBs to get prepared for the tournament and during the tournament and so forth.
Yeah, sure. And I also PB'd this week. This is also very nice, and so a really tough match for me, and I'm excited for it, and also for the rest of the tournament. Just as a viewer, I will also watch as many races as I can watch, and I'm also excited for when it gets to the matches towards the end of the tournament, where all the top runners will compete against each other. It's
yeah, it's always really fun. I know I'm looking forward to both of you racers in your next race. Both of your next races. It's been a fun tournament already so far, but we've got a lot more to go. Do either one of you have anything that you want to close with?
I don't think so, other than GG's on your PB, Marikh, and it was a blast, man. I had a lot of fun.
Me too, and also GG, and
All right. It looks like we've got another match coming up here in about 30 minutes between Mars and TJK on Speed Gaming 4. And that should be a good one as well. So head on over to Speed Gaming 4 and check that out. I don't know exactly what's coming up here on Speed Gaming 3 next, unfortunately, but I think most of you are here for Mario 1 anyway, so head on over to Speed Gaming 4. Take some time to, get another beverage or something and tune in for another good match.
Thank you, Eskimo and Rupert, for commentating. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Everybody have a good day.
You too.